All right, we're rolling.
Perfect.
And I want to make it Shantnoo, right?
Shantnoo.
Shantnoo.
Yeah.
Shantnoo. Perfect. Well, Shantnoo, thank you so much for joining.
James, right?
James, yes.
Perfect.
Shantnoo, thank you so much for joining us. I know.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you as well. And I know we both had to brave that Dubai traffic coming out here.
Yeah, but I still made it on time. So
oh, no, you
that's
did.
Wonderful.
You definitely did. And I want to thank you again for coming out here. You know, we're very excited to learn more about USDA. And, you know, I think prior to we jumping on, I think what is a good launching point, a good place to start is, you know, especially for a newcomer like myself, if you could tell us, you know, what is USDA, or maybe tell us a little bit more about the story of how we got to where we are today.
Great. First of all, thank you very much. I'm so pleased to be here and so pleased to be telling our story. I'm so grateful to Cardano because background for you. I come from payments background. I worked in the payment space for about a decade back in the UK and Europe, building fiat on-ramps and off-ramps for instant money transfer companies. That was my starting point. And I started with one of the most difficult markets back then, which was Germany.
Oh,
you know, Germany and payments, it's extremely tough. But we ended up working with key regulators in the European Union, like BaFin in Germany, ACPR in France. We have literally seen the FCA regulations coming in, the payments ecosystem. But, you know, when you are at the right place at the right time, so I managed business development, but I ended up being a part of compliance meetings with the regulators. That gave me a bit of regulatory understanding, like how regulators work.
Yeah.
But we ended up rolling out our payments network across the European Union. Got into cryptocurrencies about 9 years ago with a then startup called as BitPesa.
Okay.
And we were one of the first ones to bring blockchain-based payment ecosystem. Blockchain back then was Bitcoin.
Yeah,
so we were selling, we were selling the power of blockchain to the remittance companies as to how can they consume blockchain to make remittances more efficient and more effective. And
it's a tall order.
I mean, and this was like, nobody wanted to hear your Bitcoin story, right? Back then, the financial institutions, the banks, nobody liked us back then. But that was a great starting point. Did that for a couple of years, and then I was lucky enough to be here in Dubai in 2018. So I moved in here as a CEO or general manager for a crypto exchange today called as HTX. Back then they were called as Huobi, to set up their base in the Middle East. And one of the things we realized back then, of course, we went through the key regulators, ADGM. There was no VARA back then since Central Bank of Bahrain, CBD. So they had clear crypto regulations back then. One of the key inputs I took during that time was regulations and compliances must be a part of the crypto ecosystem. And we wanted to bridge the gap between cryptos and fiat. Henceforth, we started Encryptus. So today we hold a bunch of licenses in Australia for payments and cryptos. In the UAE, we are classified as a legacy VASP and undergoing upgrades with VARA. Our application is in the process. In Kenya, we are licensed or authorized under a bank called as UBA to provide remittances into Africa. And in the European Union, we are a VASP, of course, undergoing an upgrade. So this was our entry point. And we started as an OTC desk. However, with the fall of Silvergate and Signature after FTX, we lost a lot of business because we were unable to move fiat. So we were able to receive cryptos into our ecosystem. And, you know, from the very beginning, our focus was very clear. We wanted to work with the right partners.
Always
and
important.
with the fundamentals.
Yes.
So we got like Fireblocks as our custodian, Sum and Sub as our KYC provider.
Fantastic.
We had KYT providers as well, TRM Labs. So we were very clear about what we wanted to build. We wanted to bridge the gap between cryptos and fiat in a more regulated and in a compliant manner. This is how we started.
And that's a challenge in itself.
I was told once by one of the leaders at a crypto exchange that you are playing with you know, two bad evils. One is fiat and one is cryptos, and you're trying to merge the two. And
double negative creates a positive.
Positive, minus, right? So this is how we got into this. So with the fall of Silvergate and Signature, we realized like moving money was extremely difficult. So, wearing our payments hat, we went back to financial institutions and banks in the frontier markets or emerging markets, because this is where most of the fiat money was moving into.
Got it.
And we integrated today, we have our off-ramping capabilities in fiat in about 80 countries, wherein we can move money without touching the SWIFT network.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So this story was very hard to sell because nobody wanted to touch cryptos for off-ramps.
Correct.
Crypto companies thought if they would offer fiat off-ramping as a service, they would lose customers. So without naming the blockchains, we went to literally all the top ones, saying like,
Not naming the block now. I'm kidding.
not naming anybody, because today some of them are our clients. It's not Cardano, because the only one who liked our story and what we were doing actually was Cardano.
Fantastic.
This is how we got into the crypto Cardano ecosystem and became the first company a year and a half ago to offer fiat capabilities directly from ADA. So today, ADA users on Yoroi can move money directly into their bank accounts in about 80 countries, e-wallets in about 40 countries, and alternate payment like gift cards and top-ups in almost 100 countries.
Excellent.
And all network is available via our widgets. KYC, KYT is all inbuilt within this ecosystem. So this was our entry point.
Fantastic.
And just around this time, about a year and a half ago, we were presented with an opportunity to take over Anzens. So Anzens is the issuing company behind USDA.
Yes.
Which was originally conceptualized by Emurgo, one of the founding entities, as you know, from Cardano.
Absolutely.
And we took over the project. So today we hold the FinCEN registration and the MSB in the US.
Okay.
And we have got 17 state no objections in the US, wherein we can mint and burn our stablecoin. But we are live in about 14 states in the US right now.
Fantastic.
So that's our long story.
I know. I like it. This is for someone who's relatively green to the market. It's good to, I guess, see the path, understand it a little bit better, and why. That's part of the reason why I've been involved in Cardano. It's been very welcoming. The community is so approachable, and it allows for the growth, and
It's for everybody.
Exactly.
If you can build value, if you can deliver value,
Correct.
It's open to all. Whereas a lot of other ecosystem, again, not talking bad about them, but the entry barriers are so high that though on the face they are a blockchain, but at the back end they are a centralized company being run by people who decide what should happen. Whereas on
Not
Cardano,
very decentralized, right?
yeah. Whereas on Cardano, it's the community decides what is it that they should be doing, how the ecosystem should be built, what are the
Correct.
pain points. So, when you get into it, you may find it slow, but when you actually understand, you realize like, okay, this is not built on dust and sand. This is like built on concrete infrastructures, which is completely decentralized.
Exactly. And, I couldn't have said it better myself. Moving over to USDA, one of the big reasons we're here.
Yeah.
Obviously, people talk about stablecoins quite a bit. What makes USDA different from other USD-pegged stablecoins?
There are many reasons why USDA versus the others. Of course, when I say others, the intention and the focus on Cardano shouldn't be for us to compete with USDM or DJET or others.
Okay.
But the focus should be to bring in liquidity and bring in participants from other ecosystems into Cardano.
Okay.
At least this is the vision with which we have been operating since the very beginning. Idea was not to start with on-ramps, but to start with off-ramps. So the reason I told you the off-ramp story is because today, as a company, we own the payments network as well.
Excellent.
We are not leasing the network. We are not utilizing third parties. We are utilizing the encrypted capabilities on USDA. So today, you can off-ramp USDA to dollars on the Anzens platform, and then dollars back to about 48 countries without touching the SWIFT network.
Which is incredible.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Like, this is the capability that we have built. The other idea for us was to work with custodians, because it's not just tokenization, which is critical, but it's also the governance part of the business as well. which is clearly laid down. I mean, us being such a small company, we still do monthly attestations and stuff on our fiat balances, the mint that's been done on the ecosystem. But at no given point in time do we become, as Anzens, become custodian of the users' funds, whether fiat or USDA. The users mint directly into their wallets. BitGo is our custodian. They custody us, the funds on the fiat side. And the user, let's say when you are minting USDA, you actually don't send money to us. You send money, US dollars, into your sub account, which is held under BitGo and Lead Bank. And literally what you do is our custodian gives us an instruction that user A deposited X amount of money and they want to mint X minus 20%, and we mint it to their wallets directly. Same as the burn process. And this was the very clear approach that we had from the very beginning. We wanted to make sure that the users, they should get the control directly with them.
Excellent. And you mentioned starting with the off ramps. You didn't want to start on that. What was the drive behind that? Can you explain a little bit more about the off ramps and why that was so important to focus on that?
Absolutely. I've been a user myself, and one of the pain points I see for the users is unfair pricing that they get when they want to get out of the crypto ecosystem.
Oh, you're preaching to the choir here.
Right.
I totally understand that.
Our idea was, why don't we simplify the fiat capability for the end user? Let's say I'm a user based in Kenya or any of the growing economies. I'm in Indonesia. The avenues for the users is so hard today to off-ramp money because if you're on a wallet, you need to get onto a centralized exchange.
Correct.
Sell it to a stable coin, then find a provider, mostly on a P2P platform or with a local exchange, to off-ramp this money. The process is so complicated for the user today to off-ramp this money. We wanted to simplify the user experience. And this is one of the major USPs that we bring to the ecosystem by combining our payment ecosystem, crypto fiat capabilities, and the stablecoin infrastructure.
Fantastic.
So I don't know if I fully answered your question.
100%. I mean, I guess just are there any gaps that you're closing next? I mean,
we see on-ramps.
Okay.
Again, it would have been, so today on-ramps are available. So the users can deposit US dollars, as I just described. We have got partners in European Union as well, wherein you can deposit euro and you can get access to USDA. But the major pain point, again, is in the frontier market. If I'm a user who is based in Kenya and I want to get onto a stable coin, I'm looking at anywhere between 4 to 6% fee, and then I have the local methods like Visa and MasterCard.
Yeah.
What we have done already, in fact, we are testing, is on-ramping with a telecom operator in these frontier markets.
Oh, fantastic.
Africa and most of Latin America runs on mobile money, mobile wallets.
Correct.
And our intention was to get local rails in place so that the users can get into the stablecoin ecosystem without any frictions at a fair price.
Perfect.
So we are about to roll this out. We are testing right now, as I just mentioned. So we are looking
Any
at...
timeline in mind that you could talk about?
I would say in the next few weeks.
Oh, fantastic. Okay.
Single digits, basically,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
A few weeks could also be...
Hey, we're not going to hold you to anything here.
No, but this was very much a part of our roadmap. And we are very close to actually rolling it out.
I mean, that's exactly what it's going to take to get more adoption,
Right.
Lowering the barrier to entry. We talked a little bit about that earlier.
Right.
And I think that approach, especially for those emerging markets, is exactly what's needed.
I mean, think about it. What is the use of stablecoin? If I'm in a country where my currency is devaluating, right, it's falling, right? I remember example of Turkey. I keep giving this example. 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I used to travel Turkey. I used to find it extremely cheap. You would be getting things at a throwaway price because it was 1 to 7. So $1 was about 7-8 Turkish liras. Now it's 42, 43 to a Turkish lira. So imagine if you held your wealth in Turkish lira. you are losing. You lost money.
Yeah,
I mean, think
exactly.
about a country like India, which is one of the largest recipient of the remittances. India receives about, if I'm getting if I have the right numbers, about 150, 160 billion dollars a year.
We'll put the numbers right here. No, but yeah, no,
But
absolutely.
imagine if I think Indian rupee has already depreciated by about 12 to 15%,
Wow,
which is a big devaluation of against the dollar.
100%.
If the users would have held their money in a stable coin, they would have now, instead of losing money, they would have made money basically,
No,
or not
exactly.
lost money basically.
Exactly, and you see that across, like, in Latin America, you have countries like Venezuela that could have benefited from this as well.
Yeah.
Any of these countries that have had immense like inflation.
Correct. But for a user, you need to give them two things. You need to educate these users.
Correct.
At the same time, you need to reduce the entry barriers. Like, it has to be frictionless and at a fair price. Like, why should somebody get a stable coin if I'm the end user in a frontier market if I'm paying anywhere between 4 to 8% to acquire a stable coin?
Exactly.
So this is a question as builders we need to be asking ourselves, like, why Cardano, why USDA, or why are the stable coins if we cannot offer a fair price to the user when they want to get into the crypto ecosystem?
And I think, that's a perfect segue into what I wanted to ask next. So why Cardano? What are some of the advantages? We talked a little bit about it earlier, but given Cardano's model, can you give, what can that give a fiat stablecoin issuer and its users? What are the advantages there?
Number one is, as I just mentioned, it's truly decentralized. Last week we were at the
Tech for Impact.
Tech for Impact Summit.
Yes.
And the next day, I was attending one of the Intersect committee meetings. There were, I think, 40 people in the room. And I was thinking in my head, like, those 40 people, of course, it would go back to the community as well. But they were deciding on a roadmap for the next 5 years.
Wow.
You don't see all of these things generally happening. I mean, and if I tell you it was an average place, and this is something I find exciting. You would attend a lot of other blockchain events, and I bet you if it would be some other blockchain
It's
company,
a lot of splash,
it would be like cars,
flashing
food,
lights, exactly.
crazy stuff.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And then people wearing suits and presenting and stuff. So, but this was, all builders, and they were talking business. They were talking, how do we make Cardano big? So this is something that really makes me excited about building on Cardano. And there's some real stuff that's happening. You've got people who come from different walks of life, different regions, and they all want to build on Cardano.
Yeah.
So for sure, and for us, this is a blockchain. This is one of the blockchains that's given us an opportunity to build, that recognized what we were doing and gave us a chance to build on Cardano. So why not we give it back in a good way for somebody who trusted us?
That's what we love to hear.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned one of the things that is so important to me is, obviously you said lowering the barriers for entry, but on the flip side of that, the education component.
Yes.
So how would, let's say someone who's new, how would they get more information, and what steps are you and Anzens taking to help educate that market?
So it depends, on the segment that you're after. So we are after the remittance segment right now.
Okay.
Because before getting to the retail, so on the retail side, I just told you what we are doing on the on and off ramp side of the business. But the real money actually is with the payment institutions or with telcos or with small and medium enterprises who are moving billions of dollars every day.
Okay.
This is something that I got involved personally about 6 to 8 weeks back. Of course, this is purely with the remittance companies that I'm referring to. What I realize is that we need somebody to take the first step, them to get into the stablecoin settlements. Because, if you go on to the Anzens website, we talk about USDA for settlements. This is the use case we want to give to telcos. I can explain you with an example.
Yes, please.
And hopefully this will go to a lot of other people in the telco space or in the remittance space.
Oh, we'll make sure they get it.
Yeah. Let's say you're a remittance company A based in the UK,
Okay.
and there is remittance company B based in the Philippines.
Okay.
What really happens today is company A must pre-fund company B days in advance. After anticipating how much volume they may get. Let's say you think, oh, today I will do about $1 million a day.
Yeah.
And you know all the money is moving via SWIFT, which is slow, which is not so efficient. We all know the downsides, right?
Yep.
So imagine 3 days of pre-funding you'll have to do in US dollars. That is sitting like in their bank account. So let's say $1 million a day.
3
You
million.
have parked $3
Easy.
million and you don't know when you're going to utilize this money. If company A and company B are on a stablecoin settlement network, they don't have to pre-fund the liquidity days in advance.
Yep.
All what they need is pre-mint USDA. The remittance company B on the receiving side in the Philippines, they must have a way to burn this USDA back into dollars, which we already have. That network already exists today on Anzens. You can move USDA to dollars within seconds, and dollars to PHP almost couple of hours is what it takes. So they will solve the liquidity issue, and real-time settlements would be possible. They can utilize this block liquidity in doing something else.
Got it.
Similar is the case with telcos. When you are traveling to another country and you utilize your roaming minutes or roaming data, telecom company A is buying or pre-buying minutes and data from telecom company B. Same use case, same problem. They have to pre-buy the minutes and the data plans. What happens if there is a stable coin between AT&T and T-Mobile, for example, in European Union and in the US?
Yeah.
You can solve this problem with a stable coin which is dollar backed, which is regulated and compliant, and wherein you can get back into fiat within minutes.
Fantastic. No, I mean,
So I hope that is
that
helpful for you to understand what use case we are trying to tell.
I think that's exactly it. I mean, what I've noticed, the biggest challenge in this is the use cases. You know, when we talk about these use cases and how do we market, how do we explain these use cases a little bit more? And I think now when we look at a somewhat crowded stablecoin space, you know, what do you see? What are USDA's right to win versus, let's say, a USDC or a USDT and others?
There are over 200 stablecoins today.
Yes, there are.
But the truth is about 87% of the market today is being held by 2 stablecoins. I genuinely believe that there is a market that exists out there. We don't have to follow what Tether did or what Circle did. What Tether did at that point in time, it made great business sense for them. And I don't believe nobody is too big. There's always a share for others.
Yeah.
But it depends on your approach and who your customer is. And you know, I've been lucky enough to have worked with people and have seen companies. One single client, one single institution, one single contract can change things around for you. We are working towards different, or at least in different segments, trying to educate people and get them to utilize USDA. And all what you need is one good use case and people to say, hey, this works.
This makes sense, yeah.
I saved money. I moved money. Somebody to say that, and we are sure that this is something that's going to happen in the next few months on USDA. So we are positive. The market will, you know, we saw what happened with NFTs. We saw what happened with DeFi. Unfortunately, people, you know, again, I don't like to talk about other institutions, specifically with names. But literally, I've seen them changing from DeFi to NFT and NFT to payments to stablecoin today.
Yeah.
Same website, just the words ends up changing.
Yeah, we're not going to point any names, but there's happens.
Plenty.
It happens way too often.
We were a crypto fiat infrastructure company 4 years ago. We are the same crypto fiat infrastructure company today, and we will continue to be a crypto to fiat infrastructure company in months to come or years to come.
That's the soundbite right there. I like that.
Yeah, because we have to agree, we all know, right? There is billions of dollars that exist outside of the crypto ecosystem.
100%.
I think two challenges that I see is crypto people are retargeting crypto people. Crypto people are not targeting institutions or businesses outside of the crypto ecosystem.
Yes.
Saying is one thing, executing is another.
Correct.
So I hear or I see a lot of people saying a lot of these things, but a very few companies trying to execute those things.
Yep.
We know we are already getting good traction on the Cardano ecosystem, but how can we get a remittance company to actually use Cardano blockchain
Yep.
and USDA and the fiat infrastructures together to solve their day-to-day problems?
Yeah, yeah, and I guess in line with that, what are some of the metrics that you would want to watch to gauge that real world adaptation?
I think number one, of course, has to be the market cap. The market cap must increase. But before market cap increases, we need to see on-chain volume. We need to see mint and burn both taking place. Organic mint and burn taking place. This may not result in immediate increase in market cap, but at the same time, that's one of the key areas that we need to look at. Number B is how many clients and how many institutions actually we get on board who ends up using USDA for their day-to-day business outside the crypto ecosystem. Of course, for Web 2 and Web 3, we have two different segments, of course. The KPIs vary. Coming back onto the DeFi ecosystem on the Cardano side of things, we have got like really interesting partners like Emurgo, who recently came in onto the Cardano ecosystem. They committed to mint 2 million USDA. They've already minted about 600K USDA. On socials, people may say, "Oh, 2 million means nothing," but this is somebody who is coming into the into the Cardano ecosystem.
Yeah, that's a leap of faith.
And trusting a stable coin to bring in more depth to what they're doing. So we'll see more and more projects building on USDM, USDA, TCHED, and others. And whoever offers the best value to the end users, they will gain more traction.
Correct.
USDM were the first ones. They did a great job. It's a wonderful team. And but we still are synergizing with others as well. Coming back to the key metrics. So I think that's what we are at least focusing on, a good use case of USDA institutions using Cardano blockchain to move money.
Fantastic. And I think just taking a step back, I mean, like one of the biggest things, you talked about how, with Cardano, it is community driven. One of the big things that is important in the community is that transparency.
Right.
And when we look at the transparency, what are some of the credible risks to peg stability? And what specific circuit breakers or buffers do you maintain?
In terms of stability, I mean, just today morning, one of my colleagues in the US, he was giving me a very good example of how we got depegged. Amid like what happened last week. And there was the circuit breaker, like everything just got like our peg was at 0.55. Now a lot of people may not talk about it, but I would like to talk about it because within hours, without us doing too much, it came back to 0.999.
Fantastic.
The price came back to 0.999. It means that, and this is what a stablecoin is supposed to do with not too much of intervention. If we can maintain the peg of USDA, I think that's the stability comes from here. On the other side of things, we are looking at additional states. If that helps, and additional countries wherein we would launch USDA. And to get more stability in place, we are looking at more Web 2 participants, specifically neobanks, to have USDA as part of their product offerings. There's one of the banks with whom we are very close to finalizing our commercials, wherein we'll be available alongside USDT and USDC.
Fantastic.
For users to mint and burn and utilize USDA for settlements. On the DeFi side of things, as I keep telling, it's great, but at the end of the day, it's the users must take caution. They must do their own due diligence,
of course,
before choosing a platform and deploying their liquidity. But at the end of the day, we are looking forward to also deploy some our USDA liquidity on some Cardano ecosystem. But that doesn't mean the users should do that as well. But that is a risk that we are taking at our end. But at the end of the day, this is how the ecosystem will build and be made available to masses.
Fantastic. And I think, I guess what keeps playing in my head is, it's not just about talking the talk, it's walking the walk. And I think that you guys at Anzens have really done that. You're backing it up.
We are doing. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we have done that. We are in the process.
Yeah.
I think no matter what you do in this space, it's always not enough. So
Fair.
I still say two things. We are still learning. We are trying to do our best to make sure that we provide value to the community, to the Cardano community specifically, and bring in people from other ecosystems into Cardano.
Okay. And so what lessons do you carry over from the pre-2025 era to make this launch more robust?
If you if you want to really make something big, you need to have a very clear focus. What I see with a lot of crypto companies, they get carried away with the noise that they hear.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you close your ears, believe in yourself, and deliver the value. You have to, and when you do the right things, it's one of the most difficult things, because you may sometimes, even I used to question myself at times.
Yeah.
Are we doing the right thing because nobody is doing this? At one point in time, I used to question myself, are we really doing the right thing by building off-ramps, because nobody wants to take it? Everybody thinks that they're going to lose users by off-ramps.
Okay.
But I think that's number one.
That's where you started. That was the exact point.
Yeah. The other thing that we need to do is regulations and compliances are not going anywhere.
Oh, no, they are not.
Working with the regulators, working with the banks at this point in time. I mean, regulators not at this point in time, but forever. You don't want to be a part of something which is not legit.
Yeah, no, exactly. Right. Especially in this space where legitimacy
in this space, money shouldn't be the deciding factor whether you should do it or not. It has to be the user's profile, the KYC of the users. That should be the deciding factor whether you want to work or not. So no matter, that's one of the lessons I've learned. No matter how big the reward is, don't get carried away. Follow the steps, follow the principles or the fundamentals on which your company is built. Your fundamentals could also be non-compliance, which is good for you. I like to sleep peacefully with my family. I like to be at home with when I'm with them. I would not like to take any unnecessary risk to just make few quick bucks.
Excellent. I mean, and that's a very different approach in this market. There's a lot of the go big or go home. But
the best thing sometimes is when you don't have a plan B. Actually, it's the best thing, because your plan A has to be successful.
Burn the ships, right?
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'd want to this, I guess, clearing up some confusions. I was looking at the ticker hygiene, for example. There appears to be other assets called USDA on non-Cardano chains. Where should users, if they wanted to get involved, verify official contract policy IDs?
Number one is of course on our website.
Got it.
That's www.anzens.com, anzens.com. Our official channel, the X channel. That's if you have any questions, you can ask us there.
Okay.
But we are on CoinGecko as well.
Okay.
And on the process of listing on CMC, but we are not on CMC.
Okay.
We haven't so far seen anybody showing themselves as USDA, but yes, I know that there is a lot of USDAs.
Yeah.
But we are the only USDA on the Cardano blockchain.
Fantastic.
So that's the easiest way to find us.
Hear that? That's the easiest one. Go on Cardano. And so, of course, we're here at GITEX, and the UAE angle. What does upgrading licenses within the UAE mean in practice for a Dubai business when deciding between different stablecoin rails?
I'm not sure if I follow your question properly, but so we upgrading is not a term that is being used widely. So VARA is the regulator in Dubai,
Yes.
and ADGM is in Abu Dhabi. Uh, Generally, there are different categories. You choose one of the categories under which you want to apply, right from consulting to broker dealer to exchange to derivatives and few other things. But the way it currently works is you put down your application, give your details, and then the authorities decide whether they want to move to the next steps or they don't want to move to the next steps. Uh, I don't think there's any term that's called as upgrading that exists out here. That's at least my understanding.
Fair.
But you can either apply, you are accepted or rejected by VARA or ADGM.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but UAE as an ecosystem has been, it's been home to us from the very beginning. It's not disappointed us, and at the same time, the best thing I like here is, other than clear regulations that's here, you can work literally in all time zones, right from Japan to the US. You can work and you can have team members all over the world. And this is what at least we do. We have got people in Australia, in India, in the UAE, in Europe, in Africa, in the UK, and the US. So we literally are able to work with
covering all the bases,
all the time zones. And the other major advantage is you can easily get in people to work for you here from anywhere in the world. So it provides us safety, it provides us security, and it provides us a clean ecosystem to operate with clear guidelines. So we are here to stay, we are here to build and deliver value to the place where we belong to.
Fantastic. And I guess on that note, how do you see USDA participating? We talked about remittance. How do you see it participating in smart city remittance and cross-border B2B initiatives here in the Gulf? Let's say, looking at a timeline over the next couple of months.
I'm not too sure anything on the smart city side of things. I mean, I'll be honest, as I told you before the interview, either you know what you're talking or you don't know what you're talking.
That's fair.
So I would say at this point in time, most of our initiatives are outside, on the stablecoin side of things, outside the UAE.
Yeah.
We know UAE is a very, very important market for us. Of course, we would explore once we get our full VARA license for encryptors. We would definitely be exploring things to do with USDA, for USDA, with institutions here. But for now, our core focus is in the US, Europe, and the European Union, and the emerging markets, which is mostly Africa, Asia, and Latin America.
Fantastic. No, it totally makes sense. Just have a couple more questions to wrap things up. It's kind of a lightning round. If there's one misconception about USDA that you would retire today, what would it be?
One of the misconceptions is that Emurgo, which is one of the founding entities of Cardano, they are the owners and they hold equity or they invested in us. The answer is they are great friends. They helped us on the technology side of things. Of course, we as Anzens did the technology handover as well. So that's one misconception I want to clear, that they are not an investor in us. They have helped us on the tech side of things, but Anzens completely is our project, which we took over from them.
Fantastic. And next would be, what's one concrete milestone that we could look forward to by the end of the year?
What I wish or what we'll achieve? What I wish.
We could touch on both. What is realistic and what is the aspirational?
I really want to hit $100 million market cap on USDA. When I say I mean to say us as a team. We want to hit $100 million market cap. That's what I wish. What we would really like to do, we would like to get the remittance use case for settlements done, test it out, pilot it with a couple of remittance companies is what we really want to do. And this is beyond what we are doing on the DeFi side of things. We know we are getting there. We are getting popular. There's plenty of users who are coming in. But I'm talking about, for us, big win would be if two remittance companies who are doing settlements with each other, they can utilize USDA for settlements on the Cardano blockchain.
Fantastic.
That's something we would like to do before the end of this year.
Sounds like a win to me as well. Wrapping things up, what's one ask for builders and one for regulators? Not, I guess, in the regions that you're targeting. What would be one ask that you want to send out to them?
I think for builders, that's a genuine feedback I have. they are great at building tech. They are great. They understand technology the way I can at least never understand. But I think what is missing really is the commercial angle. We need to think as specifically, I'm talking about the Cardano community as well.
Yeah.
We have seen some amazing blockchains not doing well and failing because they built great tech, but they did not take into consideration the commercial angle.
Correct.
My feedback, or what I think, as I'm an outsider who got into Cardano, right? I've not been into this ecosystem for a long time as you guys have been, and others been. But when you are deciding on the roadmap, when you're deciding on the next short-term, long-term plans, the commercial aspect must not be neglected at all. That 100%. Should be very much a part of your vision and should be at least 30%, 40% KPIs should be on this. On the regulatory side of things, I think regulators are catching up. They are doing a pretty decent job. Again, without sounding negative, I think what they should not do is they should not keep pushing the timelines. Because once you start doing that, and I'm referring to what, Mika, for example, what's been happening with Mika for the last year and a half is it's just getting pushed. Did we get advantage of the push? The answer is yes. We got some more time to do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the extension. When I say push, I mean to say extension. That's the right word. A lot of extensions are not really good for the ecosystem because then you start to think, oh, this is something I can do it. Oh, they are not serious about it.
Yeah.
So that's one feedback. And having. I was talking to one of the solicitors last week, and I've been told like some other stablecoins are lobbying in the African states, which I think is really unfair. Us, let's say we are a small little company, we are a startup.
Yeah.
That blockchain is for everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
100%
It's not
agree.
for it. We shouldn't, as a builder, we shouldn't think like, let me put this as a roadblock and we should lobby.
Correct.
It should be open to all. It should be based on your technology. It should be based on whether you're good or bad. Let the regulators decide. But lobbying against anybody, I think it's unfair.
Excellent. Well, I thank you so much for your time, Shantnoo.
It's my pleasure.
Really appreciate you sharing the time. If you want to give any final messages, we have camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. If you want to shoot out a final message, really appreciate it.
I think I've shared everything, but I genuinely wanted to thank the Cardano community for all the support, for their trust, for trusting us to build on Cardano. We will not disappoint you. We would do everything possible to make Cardano big, to make USDA, of course, big in the crypto ecosystem and in the non-crypto ecosystem. So thank you very much for having me.
Fantastic. Thank you.
My pleasure.